My name is Venkat Lohit. Today I am here to discuss about basic concepts of JavaScript. First, coming to variables. Variables are like labeled containers that store different pieces of information in a program. They allow us to save data and use it later. మనం వేరియబుల్ అనే దాంట్లో డేటా సేవ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు అండ్ సేవ్ చేసుకున్న డేటా ఎన్ని రోజులైనా అందులో అలాగే ఉండిద్ది. నెక్స్ట్ మనం ఫ్యూచర్లో ఎప్పుడైనా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. దెన్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ వేరియబుల్స్. కమింగ్ టు let is a type of variable that can be changed or updated later, but it only exists within the block of code. Coming to constant, a variable that cannot be changed once it's set. It is also limited to the block where it was created, but it says constant. Next, coming to var, an older way creating variables that can be changed but works throughout the entire function. It's in rather than just the block. It's more flexible but not used as much anymore because it can cause confusion in bigger programs. Next, here are the example for variables. First, name, age, is student. We should print name, age, and he is student or not. And output is here. His name is John, age is equal to 25, he is a student, true. Next, coming to arrays. Arrays are Arrays are like lists where you can store multiple values in one place. Think of them like a box with many slots, and each slot holds a different piece of information. Next, coming to types of arrays. Single dimensional array. This is the most basic type of array, like a simple list. For example, we can give a list of names in this single dimensional array like John, Sarah, Ram, etc. Next, coming to multi-dimensional array. This is an array that contains other arrays. For example, you can have a list where each item is another list, like a table with rows and columns. And see, here are the example. Let fruits equals to apple, banana, orange. We can give different types of names in single dimensional array. Next, coming to functions. Functions are reusable pieces of code that perform specific tasks. You write the instructions once and you can use them over and over again wherever you need it. ఒకసారి మనం ఇన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ రాసి స్టోర్ చేస్తే అది ఎప్పుడు కావాల్స్తే ఎన్నిసార్లు కావాల్సిన మనం వాడుకోవచ్చు. నెక్స్ట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ ఫంక్షన్స్. ఫంక్షన్ డిక్లరేషన్. This is the traditional way to define a function where you declare it at the top with a name. Next, going to function expression. Here the function is assigned to a variable. Next, arrow function. A newer, shorter way to write functions using an arrow. Here are the examples of functions. Next, coming to objects. Objects. Objects are like real life objects. They can have different characteristics called properties and can perform actions called methods. For example, a car object might have properties like color and brand and methods like starting the engine. Next, types of objects. Plain objects. These are custom objects you can create to store related data and functions. Means person. Okay. Next. Second type of function is object is built-in objects. Built-in objects అంటే ఎలా చెప్తాం. JavaScript provides some ready-made objects like date to work with dates or math to do math operations. You don't have to create these objects. They come with JavaScript. Next, coming to loops. Where is loops? Okay. Now coming to loops definition, what we can say, loops are used when you want to repeat a piece of code multiple times, usually until a condition is met. It helps avoid writing the same code over and over again. Now coming to the types of loops, there are different types of loop like for loop, while loop, do while loop, for off loop, for in loop. Now coming to the for loop, this loop runs a set number of times. For example, you could loop through an array of names and print each one. Now coming to the while loop. This loop keeps running as long as a certain condition is true. If you want something to repeat until a specific event happens, this is the loop which we use. Next, do while loop. It is similar to the while loop, but it runs the code once before checking if the condition is true. Next, for off loop. This loop goes through every item in an array or iteratable object. It's used to work directly with the values of an array. Next, coming to for in loop. This is one goes through the properties of an object like its keys. You can use this loop through all the keys in an object. And coming to the final one, classes. Classes are templates for creating objects. They define structure of an object like what properties and methods the object will have. It's like a blueprint for making many similar objects. Class declaration. This is when you create a class using the class keyword. It is used. Next, class expression. You can also create classes and assign them to variables like functions. Thank you.